Today we're starting a new franchise with the cheapest and worst team in baseball, the Oakland A's. From stingy ownership to poor fan attendance and whatever this trade was, not much has gone right for Oakland, and I have 5 years to turn them into a dynasty. Aledmys Diaz is our best player, and he was only a utility guy for the Astros last year. That just speaks volume to how bad we are. Outside of him, we've got Seth Brown, who's an okay player with control, and then really not a whole lot of promising talent. It was opening day, and our new ace really struggled to place his pitches. He's really the best arm we have and has potential, but that walks per 9 in control is very scary. Thankfully though, he had some time to figure it out because Shohei Ohtani was also not hitting the plate. We were busting out a AAA level lineup and I needed to get an impact bat to start this rebuild. Enter Vinny Pasquantino. The Royals offered him for Seth Brown and 2 pitching prospects, and we've got a promising young player to build our team around moving forward. In his first A's at-bat, he hit a missile right back at the first baseman, but the contact's on display. Fujinami was also starting to settle in, picking up his first major league strikeout against Anthony Rendon. I also traded Manny Pena to give Shea Langeliers the opportunity to be the starting catcher. He was in the 9th spot and he absolutely nailed one deep into left center field. Will it climb the fence? And it's caught at the wall. We remain scoreless. We had Ohtani in a 2-2 count, and we actually managed to strike him out looking with the fastball, and now Fujinami was on a roll, ending the 4th inning with another strikeout. A very promising debut so far. Outfield was the biggest weakness on our team, and we needed a fast solution. I was going to overpay for a vet in free agency, but then I found Lou Simon. He has pretty good speed to make up for his abysmal defense, and he hits for power on both sides. A pretty nice player for $60K a year. He managed to draw a walk and then took off in the 4th inning, using his speed to swipe a bag and become our furthest base runner on the day. Then Aledmys Diaz slaps a single back up the middle. Lou Simon uses his speed, rounding third, coming home, and becomes our first scored run of the year after being signed in free agency. But a 1-run lead really is not much when you're facing off against Mike Trout. Fujinami elevates the high fastball. It's another scoreless inning, but he was showing that we were not safe. His control was a problem, and he beans Ohtani with the fastball, but he came right back with a 1-2-3 to Taylor Ward, getting his first out. He had 2 on against Anthony Rendon, but hits a grounder to Diaz. 5-4-3 double play gets us out of the inning and would further secure us the dub as Shintaro Fujinami wins in his MLB debut. We were 1-1 in our first series of the season when Lou Simon hits a 3-run home run, and we win the series against the Angels. We were exceeding expectations 2 weeks in with an 8-7 record, going into a series in which the cheapest team in baseball would go up against the most expensive. Their ace was also one of the best pitchers in baseball in Justin Verlander, and we were trying to take the cover right off of Steve Cohen's trust fund. Vinny Pasquantino all the way back and caught at the wall. This was still a good statement from Vinny as we were in Justin Verlander's head, and Ramon Laureano shot a double off the wall in right field, trying to show that he should stick around in the rebuild. We had a runner in scoring position for the first time, but Jace Peterson hits a weak grounder, and it was still scoreless after 3. Fujinami was making the start for us, and it was only a matter of time before the Mets bats started to heat up. Brandon Nimmo hit a weak blooper into shallow left field that he somehow turned into a double. Then on the next at-bat, he gave Brett Beatty an absolute gem of a fastball down the middle that he hit back at him to score Nimmo and get the Mets on the board. It was the bottom of the 5th inning, and Aledmys Diaz showed us all why he was the best player, hitting an absolute rocket off the wall in left field to get a double of his own, trying to give our offense the spark it needs. Then this random C potential outfielder decided, anything you can do, I can do better. Verlander left the changeup up high, and the A's take the lead on a 2-run shot from Lawrence Butler. Even if we're rebuilding, it's always nice to see rather unknown players make big plays. One of these guys is Lou Simon. He slaps a single between first and second base, and we could possibly extend our lead even further. Aledmys Diaz having a good game, and he rockets one into deep left field on the run, and it's caught to end the 6th. A missed opportunity, but still some good momentum. Verlander done for the day. We face the bullpen, and Lawrence Butler goes the other way. Shallow left field, and it gets down. He's aboard. Ramon Laureano already has a double today, and they left a changeup high in the zone. Laureano over the fence. It's another 2-run jack for the A's. Steve Cohen's in tears. However, we still had the rest of the 7th inning to play, and Shea Langeliers. Will it stay fair? It does. Holy Toledo, our bats are hot. A single shot for the catcher, his first of the year, and that's the dagger. A AAA team beat the Mets. Not only did we beat the Mets, but we actually swept the series before losing 8 out of our next 10. Desperate to get back in the win column, we were in extra innings against the Reds, and Dermis Garcia slapped a shallow single into right field, the pinch runner rounds third, and we've won 2 in a row thanks to a reserve infielder. Some of the ways we've been winning games is just insane. Unfortunately though, that slump put us all the way down to 13 and 15. Our stat lines were also extremely weird as Vinny Pasquantino was playing okay, but the real breakout player for us was Lawrence Butler, who had that home run against the Mets. But even then, with Ramon Laureano playing pretty terribly and Lou Simon and Tony Kemp cooling off, our offense was very unreliable. James Caprillion was having an all-star level season while Ken Waldachek was playing well. Also, Shintaro Fujinami played really well in the games we played with him. The sim showed that the walks per 9 was just not cutting it. We might have to trade him at the deadline while he still has value. In the bullpen, Austin Pruitt and Domingo Acevedo were playing fantastically. Our best overall reliever, Zach Jackson, had an ERA of over 4. We needed to consider making a change at closing pitcher because Trevor May's stat line was absolutely ridiculous. We were in a must-win extra innings game against the Rangers, and they grounded a weak RBI single up the middle, taking the lead in the 11th. We've been playing in a lot of extra innings games, and obviously not all of them are going to go our way as we pop up to end the game. We lost the series to Texas, and our season was looking more in jeopardy by the day. We needed to go on a run and establish something on offense. With runners at the corners in the bottom of the 9th, Jesus Aguilar slapped one the other way with a game-tying RBI single. We live for extra inning games. Lou Simon was up to bat in the bottom of the 10th, and he'd already had an excellent day. With the bases loaded, he slapped a single back the other way, walking it off as we come back to win in 10 innings against Arizona. This has got to be the weirdest baseball team ever. Vinny Pasquantino, 3 for 4 with a home run. We rode a 4-game win streak back to 21 and 24, but the AL West was better than ever. We were in jeopardy against the Houston Astros, down 2 runs when Vinny Pasquantino smacked a high deep RBI double to cut their 9th inning lead to just 1 run. With the tying run on second base, Aledmus Diaz was up to bat, and he did not disappoint, smacking one into left field, scoring Vinny Pasquantino as we looked for extra innings. However, in the bottom of the 9th, Trevor May got himself into trouble, hitting David Hensley and loading the bases. With just 1 out, they could easily get a sac fly and win the game, but Kyle Tucker had bigger ideas. Trevor May's slider left over the plate, turns into a walk-off grand slam, and Houston slammed the door on Oakland's comeback. The Astros were trying to fight back in this division just as much as we were, but we are very much rebuilding. It was only May and it felt like the season was already over. We lost series to Houston and Seattle. We had a 5-2 start to June with a lot of close games, and I was desperate to really turn this momentum into a lot of wins, and we absolutely needed to shore up the bullpen. Dylan Tate was the best option available, and the Orioles did not want very much for him. We made a great trade, but we were down 1 against the Milwaukee Brewers, and we stole a base in the 9th inning. The addition of Vinny Pasquantino has really made a difference, and he continues to be a clutch hitter as an RBI single tied the game in the top of the 9th. Then with 2 outs, Lou Simon was up to bat, and I was thinking a little bit bigger than extra innings. His single put 2 on. With Aledmus Diaz up to bat, however, we wanted to keep our rally going, but he made weak contact, and we're going to extras. We had a runner on third in the top of the 11th and just needed a sac fly, but Jace Peterson grounded it to first. One swing from Pasquantino could take a lead for us with a runner on third, but unfortunately, he also grounds it to first, and we missed the opportunity. Trevor May could redeem his season in the bottom of the 11th, and he threw a nice changeup to Willie Adams. He was trying to put him away with the fastball, completely missed his spot, and Willie Adams walks it off with a beautiful line drive. We've been to a lot of extra inning games, can't win them all. We had to scratch and claw for just about every single win we got. With the chance to redeem ourselves, we hit Bass's pitch right back at him, and Lawrence Butler walks it off 7-6. That's how it's done. Our team is far from where we want it to be, but isn't that the beauty of a rebuild?